I'm going to Japan, and I can tell you I am scared as absolutely. This is so outside of my comfort zone, and I want to talk to you about my upcoming trip, everything that I have planned, and just why I guess put it off for so long, because I've been talking about going to Japan for almost 10 years and I never made it, and now is the time. So let's get into it. If you are new here, I'm so happy that you joined me. My name is Stella and I'm traveling the world solo for quite some time now. And I also love Disney a lot. We are coming back to that later. And still, I'm pretty scared about going to a place like Japan on my own. This is completely out of my comfort zone, and I feel we are talking not enough about going somewhere where you are pretty, insecure and maybe a little bit scared about. Like most of the travel vloggers and bloggers and, community people that I see around, they seem so confident. They know their shit. They know how to handle it. This is just like, only the sunny side. But there isn't only the sunny side. There is like a real apprehension about going somewhere new, especially going somewhere new where you do not speak the language. I don't, not a single word of Japanese. It's just like a general apprehension of getting lost, I guess, and not knowing what to do and how to handle stuff, because this country is just so different from like our Western countries where I'm comfortably moving around and I know that I can use English and, I can figure stuff out. And I told you I've been talking about Japan for 10 years now, and this is true. I found all journals where I've been like outlining my trip to Japan and tried to figure out where do I want to go, basically everywhere. What do I want to do? Everything. And I never got around to it. I've been to Florida a lot in the last years, and I will make another video about why I'm going back to Disney that often. And like I think the main point is I didn't feel stable and confident enough, and I did not have the headspace to bring myself in a mindset to embrace that kind of adventure. I think that is what it is. And the big C happened and everything just shut down, and Japan was closed for international tourists for quite some time actually. And that was also a good excuse, and I quite purposefully call it an excuse for me to not go there. Right? I mean, I had to stay at home anyways. When like the borders opened up again, I went back to Florida. But I was also in a, I would say, quite challenging chapter of my life where I just had to handle private and professional stuff. And that was eating up a lot of headspace. And Japan as an idea was there, but I just could not muster like the courage to just book it. And then this year came around and a lot happened in my life, and I'm not going into details, but a lot happened in my life, and I feel more free and more confident and more badass as ever. And I just booked a trip. I booked a trip and then I got the chills. And I was going back and forth on the idea that I could just join a like organized group trip. And there are great agencies out there that offer organized group trips, and I can recommend quite a few. G Adventures is amazing, and I also heard good things about Intrepid Travel. And if you would like to explore those options, I highly recommend that you join one of those like single solo travel Facebook groups, because the people out there, they are just a blessing. They know everything. They basically know everything. So I was going back and forth and be like, okay, you can just join like a trip, and then you basically maybe attach a couple of days in Tokyo and do your own thing. But first the dates were not matching up, like my kind of free and spare time and when I can actually go. And the other thing is also it's really expensive. It's super expensive. It was just not fitting my needs. And then I was like, okay, screw it. I'm doing that on my own, and I will now sit down and work on an itinerary. And I still haven't worked out all the details, but I have worked out a whole lot right now. And I'm flying into Tokyo, and I will stay in Tokyo for 3 days. And the plan is to just explore the city and maybe do a day trip kind of situation out of the city, maybe Mount Fuji, maybe another place with temples. This is still to be discussed, and I honestly also would like to keep it as open as possible, because with a very tight fixed itinerary, I more often than not get very overwhelmed, and I have to take it in my own pace. And I rather take a step down and do not see as much before I am in a situation where I'm exhausted and I cannot enjoy myself. So this is my kind of, you know, I guess, way of doing it. So I will stay 3 days in Tokyo. I have a nice little hotel booked, included breakfast, and you know, it wasn't too expensive. Also, I'm booking my hotels over booking.com because I never had a bad experience with booking.com. And the other thing is I like to compare a large variety of hotels in one area and compare the prices, compare the amenities, compare, you know, like value for money. And then I just booked the best deal. And they also have, I feel, pretty good offers and prices, especially if you're like a returning customer. You get like additional, I don't know, discount probably. Yeah, and then I'm taking the train and go to Kyoto for another 3 days, where I plan to do like all the touristy sites. Everyone is telling me you have to go to Kyoto. Kyoto is so beautiful. You have the old town, you have the temples, you have the bamboo forest situation. Maybe I'm also doing a day trip from Kyoto to somewhere else. I would love to go to Hiroshima, but this is probably not happening because the distance is just too far away, and then you spend a whole, you know, lot in a train and traveling back and forth, and I don't want to do that. And again, I'm keeping it as open as possible for me, and then I just see how I feel. And then on day 4 in Kyoto, I'm going back to Tokyo. And I have booked in Tokyo a hotel in the Tokyo Disneyland area. Surprise, surprise, surprise. We are going to Tokyo Disney and I'm so excited. So I have booked this hotel in the Tokyo Disneyland area, and I will stay there, I think, for 3 nighs. Where I still can do a little bit of also like Tokyo area, and then I have a 1 ticket at the last day in this hotel, and then I'm actually moving to the Tokyo Disneyland hotel, and I have booked a vacation package, and I will make a completely, you know, separate video on booking Tokyo Disneyland, because this was like a science experiment thing for me to to get through that, but we managed. But the reason I booked this vacation package, and I booked like 2 nights. You can book 2 nights in the Disneyland hotel, so I booked 2 nights there. is that they are opening a complete new area in Tokyo Disney Sea, the Fantasy Springs area, where they have Peter Pan and Rapunzel and I think Alice in Wonderland, and it's a big reveal and opening, and you have guaranteed access to this area if you are in a Disneyland hotel. So this is what I did because I want to go there, right? I mean, it's like a once in a lifetime opportunity. So I have my park tickets. I will spend 2 days at Tokyo Disneyland, and I will spend 2 days at Tokyo Disney Sea. And I purposefully put all the Disney extravaganza at the end of my trip because I will spend some money and I will buy stuff, and I didn't want to lock all the stuff that I bought around to, you know, around Japan and to Kyoto. So this is why I do the shopping part on the last leg, and then I probably need an extra bag and go back home with much more luggage than I flew in. But this is like a beloved little stellar tradition that we also do in Florida, so no surprises there, I guess. Yeah, so this is pretty much it. I have done, like, I think the last 2 days I'm also in the Tokyo Disney area. You can only book 2 nights in a Disneyland hotel, like a maximum of 2 nights, right? You cannot stay longer there. So I'm moving again to another hotel, and then I'm flying back home. And yeah. I'm still, I think like the biggest anxiety is like the trains are not getting on the wrong train. And the subway and, you know, everything. But I will manage. I'm so excited. I will make a couple more videos around like planning and, you know, just, you know, bringing everyone in my excitement, and then I'm taking you along and I'm filming as much as possible. I'm a little bit moving away from this traditional kind of vlogging because it's just not my things, but I will share the most interesting parts and make it as informative and entertaining for you as possible. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and buckle in for the ride, and I will see you real soon. Bye!